Hello and welcome everyone to this live webinar with me, Celestina Calea and Formica Coriandolo. In this webinar, we will look about and expose the biggest myths about dreaming. We know that dreaming is a huge topic of interest, mainly because we all dream every night. And so it's a very hand-on-hand practical experience that we all have, but it's still very mysterious. And as we know, as we think as dreamers, is one of the most transformative aspects that we have and can have as human beings. So it's really important to dive into the dreaming and to make the most of our dreaming. Since we sleep 1/3 of our lives, this is really
Ah,
something that
it's a
we can
lot.
make the most of. Exactly. So in this video, we will cover exposing some myths that people have about dreaming and answering some of your questions that have come in regarding dreaming and regarding this aspect and what you think might happen and what our point of view is and what the point of view of science and of ancient cultures is regarding dreaming, and of course sharing how you can take your dream journey further. But before going into this video, first I want to introduce myself. My name is Celestina Calea. I have been a lucid dreamer since I was 3 years old, and in the last 10 years I've been in this dream path together with Formica Coriandolo, who has been my dream teacher, so it's an honor also for her to be here on this live today. And we are the creators, together with two other people, of the School for Awakened Dreamers, which is a 3-year path in which the students, they learn to master their energies and master their dream journey. And here we are giving you some of this information today in this webinar. And Formica, do you want to introduce yourself?
Oh, thank you, Celestina. I have been a lucid dreamer since I was 7 years old. And this experience, I have experienced lucid dreaming every night for almost 1.5 years, with a very, very special dream that awakened my complete awareness of the potential of being lucid in dreaming, even if I was very little. So when I grew, I explored even more, of course, this ability and this possibility, this great power that we all have, by the way, and but not having any clue, not having any idea on how to use this a huge power from an evolutive point of view. The point of view of let this power be useful and have a direction that can allow me to really understand what is the dream real. And then I found Damanor, and I found this lineage of dreamers that I enjoy, that I I join, not I enjoy. I join this reality, which is the Federation of Damanor, which is an impossible dream that came possible. And here I have been trained directly by the founder, Falco Tarassaco, who was master. Now he's passed away in 2013, but let's say that his teaching is still alive and very inspiring for all of us that knew him in person, but also for the people that are coming to know Damano. Then this teaching was so meaningful to me because it gave me the direction, it gave me the vision, the overall view to what the dream, what dreaming means, what can represent, and how to use this power that we all human beings have. So that's my story. I have lived now for 42 years in Damanor, and I'm really happy that we have opened this possibility to everybody to join us in this amazing evolutionary path.
Thank you so much for this introduction and to say something about this, what Formika is speaking about when we are speaking about dreaming as a lineage and as a school of dreamers. Let's say we're really speaking about how we can use this, what we call the sense of dreaming, really as a path of evolution in our life, and not just looking at our dreams as something random, but really understanding the core and the root cause of our dreams and how our dreaming is really a natural power as human beings that we can harness for our spiritual evolution. So this is also things that we will go into further in this dream, how in this dream, in this webinar, which is of course also a dream, and how you can use it and see your dreams and look at your dreams and use them in this way, in an evolutionary way. So I think that we can just go directly in, because we have some myths that we will try to expose or debunk, and some questions that we want to have the time to answer to. So, and also while watching this, if you have any questions, further questions, or there are questions that are not answered, please comment them on the video below, or you can write them to us through our email that you will find in the description, because we are having these lives answering to all these questions. So the more questions, the more answers, and the more this community of dreamers can really grow. So the first myth that we will look at is this fact of seeing your dreams as a part of our unconscious mind. This is the usual way, and also oftentimes, let's say, what is mostly approved in the scientific community, to look at our dreaming as something that comes from our unconscious minds, where we declutter, where we organize our impressions during the day, and so on. So let's see, for Mika, what do you say about this? What is your take on
Of
this?
course, we have to say that this is true. It's true that through our dreaming, we meet our subconscious. We have the possibility to reorganize, kind of, and even refine the energies that we have that are related to our daily life. But this is just a part of our dream. It is reductive to say that all our dream time, it always refer to our subconscious. It's an important part of it, but not absolutely the whole. It doesn't cover all the time of our dream time. Okay, so dreaming means to use the potential to travel in between dimensions. And when I say travel in between dimensions, I mean that our energetic structure, is made in a way that allow us to detach when we dream from our physical body, and through what is called astral travel, that means the journey of our energetic bodies that can finally breathe, and can enlarge and expand themselves, we can really reach other layers of the possible realities, other frequencies. Our energetic bodies are made in a way in which they can set up in different frequencies that correspond to different dimensions. And when we travel in different dimensions, we can meet a huge amount of different form of lives and intelligences and territories. We speak in our lineage of dream territories, because every dimension is a realm where different species, they can live and they can exchange with other species. So, coming back to the question, yes, it's true that part of our dreaming is related to our subconscious. We call this field of dreams in our lineage our home. So I would like to make an example. For example, when we live in our home, in our apartment, okay, let's say, in a we our apartment could be the same according with our, you know, how we like to put in the walls, the no, whatever it is, the colors in the walls, the paintings, the furnitures. But it could be the same if you live in Rome, or if you live in London, or if you live in New York, to make an example. Okay, your home is there. When you open the door of your home, you get in touch with the environment which is all around your home. And it's completely different if you live in the countryside, as I live, for example. So you find nature, and you'll find a lot of different animal and plant species that you start, connecting with. Okay, Instead, then, if you live in New York, that you are, for example, in a street where there are many cars and, shops and people of different, coming from all over the world. So when we coming back to this is in our daily life, what happens? Coming back to the dream and dreaming life, when we are dreaming and we are in our home, that means referring all the dreams refer to our subconscious, is like we are in our apartment. Okay, in the moment in which we have put order, we have cleaned up the floor, that means that we have made a kind of a reordering of our energies and refinement, because this is a big, big topic. Now we are just scratching the surface of it. But it's very interesting to understand why we need to make this kind of dreams, because we need to refine the energy that comes from our daily life to have that fuel that allow us to travel then in between dimensions, when we open the door of our home and we get in touch with what is beyond our house, beyond our home. And because when we travel in between dimensions, we really need energy, because the fuel that we need to use in order to travel in between dimensions, and the exchange that we have with other species, in other environments, is always energy, personal energy. That's why one of the very important topics of our dream school and our lineage is the understanding of how to relate to our personal energy.
I love this. So what you're saying is that the thing that most people think when they think about dreams is that it's like one big territory, and also now again that we are dreaming individually. This is a very important. Now you might see that our channel, that we use the name collective dreamers. So this is also something, an explanation also to what Fermike is saying. So you're saying that they're not only the dreams within your unconscious or subconscious mind, as Freud or Jung were speaking about. Yes, we do have that, because it's extremely important for our energy structure to really organize the experiences that we have had in our past, that we have had during our day, in order for us to regain energy from those experiences that we have lost. So in reality, our body and our subtle bodies, our energy structure is really intelligent, because what it is trying to do through these unconscious dreams is that it's trying to recuperate energy that we have lost, so that we can go back to, let's say, our maximum form of energy to actually do what dreaming is supposed to be, which is traveling in between dimensions, which is where we can tap into, let's say, different time territories, which is where we can have futuristic dreams or dreams in the past. We can meet different entities or deceased ones. A lot of questions that have also come in. So yes, it is dreaming, like in the unconscious mind is there, but dreaming as an experience as human beings is so much more. And as human beings, we need to train our ability to actually, what we call, go out of your house, to start having experiences in the same way as we have experiences that allow us to grow in this life. Okay, this is
Thank you
this
for
is
this is even more clear, I hope, for everybody. That's
Yes. So this is very interesting. And this also allows us to understand how we really can use our dreaming to evolve spiritually, only from this point of view, knowing that no dream is not useful, in the sense that every dreams, even how stupid they might seem, they are trying to help you to reach your higher potential. It doesn't depend on in which territory you're in, if you're within your subconscious mind or if you are meeting with other entities, but really it's trying to help you to evolve spiritually. And what is interesting, I think, is that I think that there's many people watching who can understand this, because if you're watching, you're probably dreamers interested in the dream realm, or understanding, trying to understand what is happening to me during the night. And this is something that we go through a lot in our school. It is to start to understand and to feel energetically the difference from when we are having dreams within our house or our territory or in our unconscious mind, from when we are meeting other entities or other, and to feel that even the energetic difference is also for us to be able to interpret our dreams. I don't know if you want to say something about this also, for Mika.
Yes, absolutely. When we speak about territories in dreaming, we need also to go into the idea of the interpretation, because we need to interpret where I am I. So there are many different tools, but one of the, of course, this is, as I said before, we are just scratching the surface. But one of the most common things that we can say to everybody in order to distinguish when you are in touch with other territories and other, entities, or when you are in your field, in your home, that related to your subconscious, is the example that I always say is like, imagine that is a very gray day with a storm and the rain is going down, there are some lightnings, okay? And imagine that you are at home, in your home, and you're looking at it from the window, okay? And then suddenly imagine that you are not looking at it from the window, but you are outside and you are in the middle of the place where the rain is going down and the lightning are, you are exposed to a complete different energy. Okay.
Mm.
So one of the more important aspect is the perception of the energy. When there is a sense, you feel when the energy is, high level of vibration, you are exposed to different frequencies that are very close to you. You don't have any layer in between you and something else. So that's exactly what happens when we have a dream where you are in other territories. The energy is more intense. You can feel it. And when you are in your home, even if you are processing, even, for example, emotions that are not pleasant emotions and situations that are not really nice, that could be intense, but they are never so intense like the ones when you are outside of your comfort, zone, that is your subconscious no, field, your home, exactly. So the perception of energy when you are in other territories, the light, the sounds, even the sound of your voice has a complete different tone and vibration. So there are many signals, that signs that can allow you to recognize that you are in different territories.
And I think this is extremely interesting also when it comes to doing interpretation, and we are touching a little bit on this. And another myth that we will look at today, which connects very well to this, is that everything within your dream is a reflection of yourself. Now, this is perhaps a myth that is more commonly known by people who are already on a dream path. So if you're completely new and you don't even know how to start interpreting your dreams, you might be new to this. But when you start trying to interpret your dreams, oftentimes we say that, and we hear that everything within the dream is a direct reflection of yourself. And while this is true, because it is true, we need to keep in mind just what Formika said now, so that there is a huge difference. So when you are within your unconscious mind, within your own territory, then every scenery that is playing out, let's say, in those dreams, they are a reflection of yourself. And this is why you can heal a lot of things within your when you're in your territory. You can heal past traumas. There's a lot of therapeutic forms in which you should embrace the monsters, so to say, and try to analyze your dreams and try to understand what is that character meaning to me, what aspect of me is represented in that character. And this is all true, and it's very, let's say, a fast track of your on your evolutionary path if you analyze your dreams in those ways, understanding that your emotions is the main key to the energy of the dream. So your emotions is what is guiding you to understanding what the dream is trying to tell you. However, when you're outside of your territory and you're actually in contact with the subtle universe, let's say, with the subtle energies that are not part of your own territory, in which you can meet deceased people, which is one of the questions, by the way, that we will go deeper in later, but also other entities. Um, then let's say the way to interpret something like that is completely different. And this is why it is so important to be able to see the difference and to be able to use your perception, as Formika said, as a tool to understand where you are. And of course, in the dream school, we have many different techniques to understanding which territory you're in so that you can act accordingly. But this thing that everything in the dream is a reflection of you is only true when you are within your subconscious mind. And in this way, let's say for Mika, dreaming is very shamanic in a sense. When we speak about shamanism and other civilizations, they really speak about dreaming in this kind of way, in which you can really travel and meet other entities. And this is how, or also other animals, like in many native indigenous peoples.
Yes. And this is why also dreaming, as you said before, is a collective path. It's not an individual. It's an individual path since we stay in our subconscious field, in our home. That's you with your field, your energy, your personal energy. As soon as you go out and you meet the other, no, that's why it's a shamanic, because they deal with other beings and other. And by the way, we are used to think as Western people, Western society, that we dream when we are sleeping. Okay, but the sense of dreaming that you just mentioned at the beginning of this meeting in our lineage means that this is an ability that we can develop not only when we are dreaming, sleeping and then dreaming, but also when we are alive, when we are awake, not alive, awake. Sorry. So, because and in fact in the shamanic tradition, when the shaman goes into has a trance, okay, is because is the beginning of the journey in between dimension. So the transition in between dimension does not happen only when we are sleeping, but it can happen only in the moment in which we are able to train what in our lineage we call the dream muscles that we have, that are these energetic bodies that in our lineage we count them more of 30 layers, that they work like an elastic, like tens of an elastic. This is why we speak about 30 layers of different energetic bodies, because the way in which they work together allow us to really reach a huge distance, which is not made of kilometers, but is made of different frequencies, now that we can modulate. So that, and that make the journey in the dream field, which is the same of the journey of the shaman when he is in a trance and he's able, for example, to reach and to speak with the ancestors or with other species of the, or with the forces of the different alliances that we have as human beings with other spiritual beings.
I love this because while speaking, you are also answering to many of the questions that have come in. So, for example, if you can communicate with someone who has passed away, if you can really, how you can feel the difference between your real life and your dream life, why dreams sometimes feel more vivid, all of these things. When we start thinking about dreaming in territories and start thinking about dreaming as also as one of the myths that you just debunked, that dreaming is something that happens only when we are sleeping, when we start seeing dreaming really as just a way of our natural ability of human beings to tap into other subtle dimensions, then we start to understand that, of course, it's possible to contact beings, deceased people who are vibrating on these other dimensional, let's say, territories, as we call them, or levels, sometimes they are called. But it is important to understand the difference of when something is a projection of ourselves or when we are actually doing this, let's say, shamanic travel with our subtle bodies. And this is what, of course, we are training when we are in the school for awakened dreamers, and also through very, I think, very practical means, also in trying to understand, both in having an experience of what it feels like to really the difference of being in your territory or in other territories, but also the experience of exiting your body and what is actually happening in what in science is called the hypnagogical state. So what is actually happening when we are in between sleep and waking time. And I think the most interesting revelation is how we can, let's say, master the regulation of our brain waves as a way of entering into different dimensions. And I think this is very practical ways of looking at dreaming, that normally dreaming is this extremely mysterious thing that you don't feel that you can master, but when you start on a path, you really have the sense of empowerment as a human being, because everything that feels mystical or magical or random, which is also very a lot of myths about dreaming, that you cannot control them, because you don't control them, but you can master your energy, and that is how you master this journey. And I think this is very
Absolutely,
important.
absolutely.
Yeah.
We it's absolutely important to this training that we have to do with our dream muscles, and some, as you said, some techniques are very not difficult. What is very important when we is the consistency, to use some tools, for example, that we can give through the dream school. We have or even when people they attend our introductory course, which is 24 lessons that are recorded and are online, divided in chapter, and there is one chapter which is the ones dedicated to this technique that it's very powerful, which is called the eye technique. And the point is that all the people that use it daily, they have a huge result in mastering exactly the transition in between the awake state to the dream state. Because I would say that no, the real problem is not that dreaming is difficult or mastering our dream journey is difficult. The problem is that we have to overcome our laziness. That
Yes.
it's especially we as Western people, because we have a lot of inputs that comes in our daily life, and we haven't been educated and grown in a lineage that give really a real power to the people, and we are very distracted and interfere, and so the point is to use the tools. Every time that you use a tool with consistency, we have huge results. To make an example, I have one. This the eye technique is so powerful that not only can allow us to master our the entrance in the dream journey in a lucid way without losing consciousness, which is an extraordinary experience. Okay, that has changed my life when I have experienced this. But even it can allow people to recall their dreams and even to heal insomnia, to recover energy. So there is a, because it's like when we start, imagine a body which is always sitting in a chair or laid down into the bed. If you don't train this body, you will never know what happens, what it means to walk, not even to jump, not even to hurry, not even to dance. But when you start moving these muscles, and now of course I'm speaking about the dream muscles, even with the same training every day, you suddenly realize you have a huge power of movement and you can do so many things. That's why we say always in our lineage to do everybody that start this path, that is a path that require discipline, which is a very healthy approach to life. Mm?
Yes.
Because yeah,
Yeah, discipline is a very healthy approach to life because in reality, discipline just means that you want to realize something, you want to realize a goal or arrive to a certain state, and you have set up, let's say, mini goals to arrive there. And discipline just means that you're following what you have already set up, what you know will give you the access to your goal, which what you know will be the best for you. So discipline is nothing else than really following with consistency what you know is best for you, what you know will bring you the highest level of evolution. And so of course discipline is extremely important, I think, for any spiritual endeavor, but also for anyone who really wants to start to feel that they have some kind of personal and energy mastery in life, not only in dreaming, but in any kind of path that you're on. I think that the interesting part with dreaming is that it's very easy to have a very strong result in a short amount of time, because all human beings are dreaming. Even if you don't remember your dreams, you are dreaming. And so, starting on this journey of remembering your dreams and starting to interact with your dreams and using your muscles to use this time, one third of your life, to use it also consciously, which is another, let's say, myth, which is that lucid dreaming is very rare and that it takes years to master. And it is rare and can take years to master if you don't follow the discipline. This is also something, of course, that we see within our school. We have had people who never had a lucid dreaming in their life, but with the discipline, they started having lucid dreams. Or people understanding that they might have accidentally had lucid dreams, or lucid dreams on, let's say, different levels, because lucid dreaming have various levels before arriving to the main aha moment of the fact that you're dreaming. But also this eye exercise, the experience of entering from being awake in your bed to knowing. Also, it's not only about living a process, but it's also understanding the stages that you're going through with the process, and then finding yourself awake within your dream. I think that there's nothing more exciting and nothing more that gives you really a sense of mastery, and also I think really allows people to overcome a fear of death. Because, as of course we speak a lot about in our dream lineage, there is a huge and a very big connection between dreaming and dying, which is something that not only our is said in our lineage, but of course also in many native lineages, and especially in the Tibetan dream yoga, they're speaking about, they are using lucid dreaming and dreaming as a way of mastering this art of dying, really. And so it's a huge access also to that kind of spiritual evolution that dying means, and overcoming fear of dying, especially
but
when we do it consciously.
yeah. By the way, I really I have to really say, even from a personal point of view, how much true is this? It's not just something far from us, but when I was 7 years old, the dream that awakened my memories, actually, it was a memory of a past lives where I was 7 years old and I died. And what I reawakened my lucidity in dreams was the memory of the death that I had lived when I was seven. And I was probably in the, I think, in the Amazon or somewhere like this, because I dreamt of a tiger that every night was coming and was killing me and was eating me. And at the beginning, and that's why I dreamt that I had this dream every night, because it was an intense memory, even when I was seven, because I died when I was seven. So this memory was so strongly connected with my soul structure that I repeated this every night for 1 year and a half, until I arrived at a point after some months in which I was completely lucid in the dream. I said, okay, this is the moment in which I die. And then I was waiting for the tiger. I was aware that he would have killed me. Then I would have been alive in the body of the tiger, being able to experience other things. And I was just resigned. And even if I was 7 years old, I was no more scared about this dream. And I said, okay, I just have to be patient. And then I will be able to. And then after this process, long process, my lucidity was completely open. And then I stopped doing this reawakening of memories and then lucidity. And I started having other dreams where I was lucid because I was trained in this. So, this is why, also, from a shamanic point of view, the moment of the death is so important, because a death which has been lived in a very good way, without fear, but in a conscious way, in a way that keep the idea of the transition as a moment of transformation, but not of the end or something fearful or something painful or something like that. It become really a bridge in between the journey, the transition in between dimensions, because dreaming is like dying, okay, or having birth, because you transition in between dimensions, which is a soul journey. In a portal is open and you pass in between the portal.
Beautiful. And this, looking at what we have just shared also in this webinar, what you were doing at the age of 7 was that your this dream that was of course a nightmare for you in the beginning, it helped you to take back, to recuperate through your consciousness and through consciously living through this experience and awakening you to living this experience and healing it so that you were not afraid anymore. It allowed you to gain so much energy that afterwards, when you had healed it, you had all this energy where you could start having other experiences in a lucid way. So this also to make the connection with the fact of how intelligent our soul structure is, and how and our body and our bodies and many the layers of our bodies, and their everything that they're doing is really helping us to evolve and to regain energy that we have lost, so that we can make these journeys and evolve as human beings and as also interdimensional beings, which you of course now have understood that this is how we view us as human beings that can pass through time and through dimensions. And this is, I think we have answered almost all the different questions that have come in, to if some of the questions are dreams are actually parallel realities or past lives, if you can heal traumas or find answers in dreams, what is the best way to turn a nightmare into
I mean,
lucid?
all of these questions deserve to be deepened.
Yes.
And we can open, we can stay hours just in one question. So if you want, Celestina, we can even move forward with this talk.
Yes, let's see. We have one, let's say, myth. I'm trying to also. I have looked at all the questions that have come in. Some of them I have looked, and this is how we have also divided the different myths. Let's say that we want to expose, all in order for us to answer to your question in the most, in the best way possible. So let's look at the fourth myth that will probably incorporate the last questions, which is the myth of the fact of nightmares. So that nightmares are just something that is, let's say, my mind torturing me, or sometimes even when we are in a spiritual path, we think that nightmares is something negative and something that means that we are not healed enough, or that we are off path. And since nightmare is one of your specialties, let's say, for Mika, what are really nightmares and how can we really use them for personal growth, and why can we use them in that way?
Okay, we scratch again the surface. Okay,
Yes.
but let's say this: nightmares. In our school, we have different categories of nightmares, and each category open to other categories. I mean, because so because nightmare is always an opportunity. The point is that nightmare is never something that has to stop us, but it's something that we have to use in order to learn how to guide our journey in the dream world, and also how to master our energy, our personal energy through dreaming. Because now, just to say easily, there can be two different categories of nightmares. The ones that happens when we are in our home, okay, refer to that kind of dreaming that are unpleasant dreaming, because we have to face a moment in which our energy are not completely balanced, and we need to realign them. And we so for example, there are nightmares referring to what we call the personalities, part of ourselves that are not balanced, so they create kind of inner conflicts. Let's say this, even if it is not really the best way to explain this. These are very important dreams, for example, that if you unlock the potential that is within this kind of unpleasant dreams, you gain a lot of energy back. I give you a complete different sense of yourselves, understanding of yourself, and then even really having a lot of energy and well-being, because you it's like you melt some frozen energy that is stuck in ideas of ourselves or behaviors that we repeat constantly without really being even conscious of it. And this is a category which is big, and I think we can dedicate also other meetings, other moments in which we will speak about them, if there is the interest, of course, of the audience that is following us. And then there are another big category is the nightmares that we have when we are in other territories outside of our home, that are referring to moments in which we feel that our energy, personal energy, is in danger. And again, even if this is not absolutely in a healthy situation, but it can happen, we need to have tools in order to recognize what are the situations we are meetings, in order to react in the proper way, which is something similar to what happens in our daily life. Because when we go to work, for example, and then suddenly while we are driving, we find someone that is guiding it close to us, that start "Ah!" and then put down the window and start screaming on us. That's a very unpleasant situation that affect our personal energy. And it depends on the way in which we manage this exchange of energies. We can lose energy if we follow the reaction of the other person, or if we are aware, we can just not lose our integrity. But I make this example just to let people understand that we are in a world of exchange. Well, life is a constant exchange, so everything is based on this exchange of energy. We don't have to be scared with the idea that even when we dream, we exchange energy. And there can be what we call predators or parasites, even in the dream time world, as we meet it in the daily life. That they can be humans with some behaviors sometimes that try to really, try to challenge our energy, personal energy in fighting, for example, or even animals like a mosquito that is interested to bite us and to take our blood, a little drop of blood, but they're very annoying. So this is what a nightmare is. It can take us the awareness of what's happening from the energetic points of view. And this is why they're very important, because we can master the journey, not losing our energy, but even recuperating energy for ourselves.
And now we have understood by now the importance we put on the fact of when we speak about energy, it's not energy. Oh, I'm tired, or oh, we are really speaking about the energy level is what gives you the potential to actually evolve in life. So we are speaking. If you look at a child, they have an explosive energy. They have so much energy that sometimes they're difficult to contain. I say this as a mother of toddlers in this moment. And when you look at older people, you see that energy slows down until we arrive to the moment of death, in which life energy is not present anymore in our bodies. But energy and that kind of life energy is necessary for us not only to live in this dimension but also to make these kind of journeys and to explore and, let's say, go beyond the boundaries of the physical. And in many traditions we speak about this as kundalini rising. We are working with energies of the chakras, we're working with energy point centers within our body that is both physical but also on other dimensions that of course we are also looking into and speaking a lot about in our school, and how we can uh, live our lives completely full of energy, but also not only have the, like, not only reap the sensational benefit of this, but also having the knowledge of how to use and how to direct this energy to actually have a sense of mastery of your life. And of course, as we said, dreaming is not only something that we do when we are asleep, but it's also about having the right amount of energy to direct your dreaming, to realize your dreams in this life. Because as we say also within our school, there is a big coincidence with both and connection between the dreams and the sense of dreaming and the highest aspirations that we have in life, that are called, what is the dreams that we have in this life, for the missions for this life, even as incarnated beings in a physical reality. And I think we have been here now for 45 minutes. This is more or less the time of this webinar. I want to say thanks to Formika for being here, and we will for sure have more of these sessions where we will go deeper into your dreams. So I encourage you all to write the different questions in the comment field, and also create group discussions. What are your experiences? We would love to hear those, because also, as we say within our dream lineage, the more we exchange the dreams, the more we are giving other people also an opportunity to go through the same experiences, because dreaming is a collective experience. And I also want to tell you that if you're interested in going deeper within your dreaming, we have different opportunities. We have the first year of the School of Awakened Dreamers that starts on the 29th and 30th of March 2025. So you will see all the links in the description below if you're interested in checking that out, in signing up for that upcoming year. And if you're watching this registration afterwards, no worries, you will find the links to our website for future editions. We will also put the link to our introductory course, The Power of Dreaming, which is this 24 pre-registered videos that Formika spoke about. And also, if you are interested in getting newsletters from us with dream insights and interesting information about dreaming, we have a weekly newsletter. You can also sign up for that in the link in the description. And I think that is everything. And of course, if you like these videos, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and to share it with anyone that you know is interested in dreaming, and so on and so on.
There is also the open day, if I remember
Yes,
well.
we also have an open day event that is completely free, that you can also sign up to. I will put everything in the description, so that you can see all the various ways in which you can interact with us and continue on dream path together with us. So thank
Okay.
you so much,
Thank you,
and I hope.
Lastrina, for this beautiful opportunity to speak about dreaming.
Thank you so much.
And see you all soon, we hope.